Hello. Alright, so this is our fourth Java tutorial. In this one, we're going to be working with taking a user input and using that to do the arithmetic. Alright, so for now, we're only going to be working with integers. So first off, we'll create the integer variables. So like our last video, ignore that. Okay. Int x, we need a y, and we need the result of the two. Alright? Now this part, just follow along with me. So we want to use the JOptionPane. Now with the JOptionPane, the user can insert only strings basically. Like whatever the user inserts is used, it's read as a string. So if we do x equals JOptionPane.show, now this time we want to show the input dialog because we're taking a user input. So instead of show message dialog, show input dialog. And this one, there is no component. Like there's a component argument before, but we don't really need to do null or anything. It can take one argument. So we're just gonna put the string insert x value. All right. Comma. Now, this actually won't work because x is an integer, not a string. We can't save a string to an integer because, like I said, JOptionPane input dialog reads in as a string. So if you see the error, it'll say, see, change type of x to string, but we don't want that. We want to keep x a integer value so we can do the addition, multiplication, and subtraction and all of that. So instead, we're going to use this thing called, which is for integers, is a method for integers where it can convert the string to an integer. So if we actually put Integer.parseInt, right here, I'm actually gonna do this. Alright, so we put Integer.parseInt, and then within the brackets for the Integer.parseInt, we put JOptionPane.show input dialog, and within that we put insert x value. Right? There. Now basically what this does is it shows the JOptionPane, reads in the user input as a string, but then uses the Integer.parseInt to convert that into an x value. Now if the user inserts an actual string, I mean there's some problems with that, but we're not going to really work with exceptions right now or stuff like that. So right now we're just doing basic. We're going to assume that the user always inserts what we want, a correct value basically. So we're going to do the same thing with y. Y equals integer.parseInt JOptionPane.show input dialog, and this one, insert y value. Okay, good. Alright, so now basically, before I do any math, I'm just gonna do another JOptionPane. JOptionPane dot show message dialog, right? And this one, no component. And then we're just gonna show x and y. Now, don't get confused with the plus between the x and y in the JOptionPane.showMessage dialog. The plus is to concatenate the string basically. So what I'm doing here is I want to show both the x and the y values. So instead of a plus sign over here, it works basically like an and sign. So you know what, we should actually add a space right here. Alright. And then plus. Now this might be a little bit more clear. So it's x and space between that and y. So this is not the adding operator. We're not adding two numbers here. We're just concatenating. We're just putting the strings together, because this puts out strings. So if we run this, so it's going to ask you for insert x value. Let's do 4. Insert y value. Let's do 7. So 4, 7. That's the x and y value. So which means it's reading it improperly. So now we can do the arithmetic. So we're going to do 4 different arithmetics. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put just 4 different JOptionPanes. Okay? So JOptionPane.showMessageDialog null. Alright? Now we need 4 different ones. So we're going to do, just to make it easier on me, there we go, enter B, enter B, enter B. Okay. There we go. So for the first one here, we're going to do the addition. So, sorry. Addition. Now remember I said, in this case, the plus sign, it concatenates the string. So plus, and we're going to show the result 1 here. Now ignore the one for now. Basically I want to have 4 different points. For result 1, result 2, you know what? Instead of results, let's just put sum, sub, mult, and division. So this is for everything. So what we'll do is, instead of result, we're going to put the sum here, down here, subtraction, plus sub, right? Let's follow along, okay? And over here, it's multiplication plus mult. And then over here, it's division plus div, okay? Now the reason why this error is coming up is because I haven't assigned any value to these 4 variables. But we'll do it over here. So sum equals, remember, x plus excuse me, x plus y. Subtraction equals x minus y. Mult equals x times y. And division equals x divided by y. So now the errors will disappear. So now if I run this, so enter an x value, we'll do same thing, 20, and for y we'll do 4. So now the addition of that is 24, the subtraction is 16, the multiplication is 80, because 20 times 4 is 80, and then division is 5. So that's how you do that basically. I mean, yeah, that's it for this tutorial.